Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
It is time to feel better, time to heal, and have clarity, and really move your life forward. How are we going to do that? Through sound, music of sorts, and she creates it, puts the intention in, and it's called sound healing or a sound bath. And I don't even know what she's going to play for today. She sets an intention before we do any of this. It's going to be a surprise for you as it is for me. Barbara is back. Barb Sounds. Welcome. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good, good. As we all get ready for the holidays, I'm thinking, trying to vibe here. I'm thinking that there might be a loose connection to the holiday season with what you're going to play. Maybe.
Yes. Mm-hmm. For some people. Yep.
Okay. And I guess we should explain when you play, the vibration of the sound is energy, and that's what can heal somebody. And doesn't matter where they are, as long as they can hear it, experience it, that's where the magic and the healing takes place. From this point, I'm going to throw the ball to you.
Okay.
Go from there. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So today I'm going to be playing for world peace. And if you're all thinking out there, oh, what can she do for world peace? What can any of us do for world peace? There is something that we can do, and it's related to sound and light. So I'm going to read you a little quote by the Dalai Lama from the Book of Joy. And he says, a scientifically controlled study conducted by German researchers at the University of Kassel has shown that while the chest area of an average person emits only 20 photons of light per second, someone who meditates in their heart center and sends love and light to others emits, guess, an amazing 100,000 photons per second. That is 5,000 times more than the average human being. Now, let's not forget sound is connected here because all sound emits light photons. So, and he also says, numerous studies have also shown that when these photons are infused with a loving and healing intent, their frequency and vibration increases to the point where they can literally change matter, heal disease, and transform negative events.
Wow.
Pretty
and
awesome.
Where did you find this?
That's in the Dalai Lama's book, The Book of Joy.
Whew.
And it's the Book of Joy, lasting happiness in a changing world. So I'm going to play for peace on earth. And when I do, I want everybody who's listening now, live, and anybody who's listening to any of the recordings, and anybody who listens to just the music from my sound bath from this podcast, which will be on my YouTube channel. So I'm wanting you all to be with me and emit 100,000 photons of light geared towards healing and love and healing, because healing doesn't happen without love. And love is connected to light.
Wow.
So we are going to change the world for 10 minutes.
Talking about this for so long, I didn't know that healing needs love or needs to be connected to.
Well, if healing is not connected to love, it doesn't work very well. I mean, our love is a requirement, like the energy of love. Like, let's remember we talked about how our cells vibrate at a certain frequency, and if there's a vibration nearby that is more powerful, it will pull a vibration of our cells up from whatever unhealthy level some of them have got to a healthy and happy level, right? So if you have the energy of love around you or in your heart or somewhere in your life, even if it's just love of God or, loving somebody else, right? Even if you don't think anybody's loving you, even if you're loving somebody else, that's like 500 hertz. right? And that's one of the most powerful. Joy, of course, remember we said joy is like even higher. It's like up around 825.
Mhm.
But if you
Wow.
have love in your energy field, then whatever sound you hear, whatever, whatever you're doing, if you're trying to heal in whatever manner that you can and want to heal, imagine how much better that's going to be. If you're surrounded by hate and
For
you're
sure.
trying to heal, and
Yeah.
everything in between and all the stress. But I mean, it's well known that if we're stressed out, we don't heal, we get sick.
Right. Right. And
And who isn't stressed out?
if the love isn't there in some form, and by the way, it can be in any form. I'm sorry, but yeah, it could your dog.
Yep.
You could feel love for and
Yeah.
from your dog, and that could be good. We're all going through different stuff. No judgment whatsoever.
You can look outside and see the sun shining if it is in North America now, and it's sort of winter around here.
Yeah.
But you can look outside and see the sun, or see a beautiful tree, or see a little bird, and you can feel love for that. If you do, like the more love you walk around feeling, the healthier you're going to be.
For sure.
Right?
Let's
now,
do it.
we're gonna send all this awesome healingness, 100,000 photons per second. Imagine that. And light heals, as well as sound. So
It's like you're a superhero. So cool.
but the thing is, you don't need any training at all. Like, it's not some big spiritual woo-woo thing that you have to like hang out with a guru and like study for 10 years to be able to do. Everybody's going to be able to do it today.
Amazing. Well, we're sitting
Right
back
now.
and we're listening.
Okay. So let's do what we always do. Close your eyes if you're not driving or operating machinery. And let's take 3 deep breaths in through our nose and out through our mouth. And this time we're not going to be doing specifically healing for us in the sound bath, although we will heal from all the love that we're going to generate. So what I want you to do is you're breathing deeply in and out. And then as you let yourself breathe after the first 3 deep breaths, I want you to just imagine that you are inside your heart. Inside your heart, and see that as whatever beautiful place you can imagine. And your heart is filled with love and light, even despite all the stresses we have in our daily life. And as we sit in our hearts together and listen to these sounds, we're going to beam out love and light from our heart center, 100 photons per second, with the intent of sending love and healing to all beings in the world.
That was refreshing. So I have to ask, I'm calling chimes toward the end there.
Mhm.
You kind of played that more than you normally do.
Yep.
A reason?
Um, I mean, there's not an explanation really of what, what I play when and for how long. I think to me at the end, playing them a little bit more felt like dispersing the energy in much smaller, like in kind of not physically in smaller particles, but dispersing the energy in a very light way, which would allow that energy to travel further than the bigger, sort of heavier sounds. Now, scientifically, that might be the exact opposite to what's really true. I don't know. But sort of spiritually and energetically, that's how I felt of,
And
when that was
that being
happening.
said, it reminded me of wind chimes. And then that takes me back to why did they even get popular? The wind creates the music. Is there energy, sound healing properties coming from the wind and those wind chimes?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think one of the reasons that why people like wind chimes is because, I mean, for the same reason why I love sound healing. And, when you have wind chimes and the wind is blowing them, they're never going to sound exactly the same.
Absolutely.
And it's not a pattern that your mind can follow. It's not a song. I mean, it's sound, and it's beautiful sound. But it's not a song. So your mind doesn't get,
In a
all caught
rhythm.
up in the words and
Yeah.
feelings and into a rhythm. And there's no rhythm to it either, really,
Yeah.
and you have no control over it. So all you do when you're listening to chimes is you just sit and relax and
Yeah.
let the sounds come in. And that's what happens in a sound bath.
Well, I think that even makes it more clear when we say sound bath, because if it was a certain rhythm, you'd be stuck in one place. Not stuck, but you'd be in one place. When it is the immersion into the sound, it's almost like we're just floating in the sound. Or the wave over you.
Yeah.
You're just kind of just floating along with it, i.e. a bath, i.e. in water.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think because your body and your mind also, I mean, scientifically with quantum physics and all of that, the sounds, the frequencies of the sounds of the instruments I play will relax your body and your mind. But when you're listening to a sound like chimes, and they can be very powerful, like it doesn't have to be like the big loud gongs aren't, the chimes can be just as powerful in the right,
Sure.
in the right situation. But I think also when you're listening to something like chimes or my sound bath, you're not like, when we're listening to that, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to change anything. We don't have to do anything.
Right.
And that's what our mind is continually, working on helping us to know. What do I have to do next? Oh, this thing is happening. What should I do about that? But when we're just kind of, being still and listening to something like chimes or gongs or bowls, you don't have to, you get it like a holiday
Yeah.
from that pressure that we have all the time, that there is something that I'm not doing right now that I should be doing.
Like
Or
floating
I should,
in water. If you're floating in
yeah,
water, it's the same. This is what it's doing.
yeah.
If you just float, you don't have to do anything.
No.
Just go on your back. We're out of time. Um, when that happens, how do we connect with you? I know that you offer a 30-minute introductory complimentary sound bath. Still do
Sound
that?
bath. Yes, I'm still doing that. So you can book one if you go to calendly.com/Barb Sounds. And my paid ones are there as well, the 30 and 60 minutes, but you can have your first 30 minutes for free. The other way that you can reach me or get to know more about what I do is to go to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/@BarbSounds. And, you can review all the podcasts that we've done, but you can also just listen. Like I take the 10 minutes that I play out of each podcast. And so I have a playlist called Create Your Own Sound Bath. And you can basically listen, make your own playlist and listen to for the different intentions and kind of, you still need me because I do better sound baths when they're,
Focused, sure.
When they're
Right.
focused on your energy, but it's a great way to relax. And, and if you're having some issues, there's we've set lots of intentions for all these podcasts. So it's a smorgasbord kind of.
So cool. And the stuff we've done is definitely universal. Things that we need help with, a little healing from. Barb, thank you so much. Happy holidays to you and yours.
And to you and everybody listening. And I hope you will come and listen to the 10 minutes on YouTube and emit 100 light photons per second with me.
Peace on earth.
Right. Yes, peace on earth.
All right. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right. Take care.
Thanks. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.